Hey guys, Norel and Danny. So we wanted to, how should we start this one?
It's a little different.
It's a little bit different than what we normally do because, you know, it's quarantine still and it's never ending. We haven't gotten out that much using our suboverland. We did go to the Hamptons for Norel's birthday last weekend, and this weekend we're pretty much doing nothing. So sitting in our place here in Boston, and we thought it'd be kind of fun because we saw a lot of other YouTubers using the Tiermaker in order to sort a lot of the stuff that I'm really nerdy about, like, you know, Star Wars movies and Marvel movies and things like that. And then we were like, hey, we should totally do that with the national parks, since we spent the last year or so visiting as many of them as we possibly could.
Which didn't turn out to be that many when we made this list.
So we went to tiermaker.com and we looked for a tier template that had the national parks, and there weren't any. So I spent all morning this morning going through Wikipedia and taking screenshots after I formatted things so that we could have a brand new tiermaker.com template for anybody else who also wants to do this tier ranking of the national parks. So we're going to put the link in the description below. And also, if you guys want to take the tier ranking survey test thing as well, please put your score into the comments as well, so, or your link to your finished results.
Yeah, we'd love to see what you guys think of the different national parks.
Yeah, and don't do that without also liking and subscribing.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to like and subscribe, but we really appreciate it. And if you get all the way to the end of this. Okay, so here is our Tiermaker National Parks list. And so we kind of peeked at this earlier and we found that we probably have been to slightly less than half of the national parks.
I mean, yeah, there are a total of, I think, 62 official national parks, but the national park system has like over 200. I think it's almost 300 actually, and that includes ones like the Chaco Canyon National Historic Site, where it's technically it's a national park. You can get in there if you use the America the Beautiful Pass, but it's not on the official list of 62. So today we're just going through the list of 62 because that's enough as it is anyway.
Right. And so as we do this, we're going to sort them into S through, I guess, D tier. And I've never been sure exactly what S tier is. Everybody has an S tier, and I assume it means super.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll put it up here.
Yeah, I think it means super. So you get S, A, B, C, D, and then we've got the haven't been there yet.
Which is like half of them, maybe a little bit more than that.
Right, so I kind of have a plan for that.
Okay, cool.
So my plan is that we're going to sort everything into their correct tiers, and then we're going to debate amongst ourselves the order within each tier.
Okay.
And then for the haven't been there yet tier, we're going to sort by order of our priority to go visit. Yeah,
okay,
or like how much we think it's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So starting out, first one we got is Acadia, which is a haven't been there
yet, but it's close by. I mean, not close by, but it's like within
that direction.
Driving range. Yeah,
it's
just
3 hours that way
in Maine, and definitely want to hit that park before the winter hits because Maine is one of the coldest states during the winter.
We'll sort that once we get all these sorted away. So
definitely.
But I'm gonna like skip through here and just take, you know, some of these ones that we definitely for sure have been to.
Yeah.
For instance, Bryce Canyon.
Oh man, that was a great park. I would have loved to. Yeah, definitely A, maybe S.
So
tier.
what we didn't do in Bryce Canyon was go down into the canyon. We
Definitely,
stayed up on top of the mesa the whole time that we were there.
Right, and it was super windy.
So windy. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Almost got blown away.
I went out onto the ledge and you were not.
Yeah, they have signs that say don't go out into the ledge because you might get blown off. So we definitely want to go back. I think we had just a half day when we were there.
Yeah.
And it was in a big cluster because that's in Utah, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Utah, we were saying the other day, is by far the
best state. If you want to go hit up a bunch of national parks and just be in one state, the highest, I think the highest density of national parks in one state is in Utah, and there are some gorgeous ones to see.
So I'm putting Yosemite in S tier.
Yeah, Yosemite's definitely S tier.
You can't really debate that.
We spent, I think, 4 days there and could have spent longer for sure.
I mean, I've been probably 3 or 4 times. I'm putting Zion in S tier as well.
Really? Zion goes in S tier and not
We'll
Bryce?
we can rearrange
Okay.
in a minute.
That's
We
what
just
you
got to
think,
get
yeah.
these like all
Zion
on the
was
board.
definitely a cool park.
I'm putting Arches on S tier.
Arches is definitely S tier.
Yeah, that's one of the best.
Although
places
its
you can
cousin or sister park, Canyonlands, which we went to, was kind of anticlimactic after going to the Grand Canyon. I'd say.
go. So you're gonna put that as a B?
Yeah, B. Maybe.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm told that you can't
Although the
go
crater
down.
there was pretty cool, like the crater in the I think salt dome or something.
it was
That was
okay.
kind of neat.
It was okay. Okay, Crater Lake. That was the first one we visited.
Yeah.
C?
No, I'd put it up on B.
Yeah.
I would love to go there during the summertime when there's not snow on the ground and camp up there. Like, it's a really beautiful place.
Also, it's not like you could really go into the lake.
Yeah, there's not a lot of things
Right.
you can do.
Yeah,
That's
I
true.
know that there's like
Okay,
one
move it
charter
to C.
boat. Yeah.
Move it to C.
I mean, it's nice to look at. It's hard to get to.
Yeah.
Rainier.
Mount Rainier, didn't go there on this trip, but we grew up in the area.
So
I've been to.
our rules are it doesn't have to be this trip.
Yeah.
So like we are from Washington, you know,
Yep.
Mount Rainier is like our mascot.
Right.
So and you know sometimes we just would actually we have a video of us driving
Yeah,
through
taking
the
the long way
park.
home.
Yeah, taking the long way home.
The Mount Rainier National Park is beautiful, though. Like, I definitely.
And a lot to do.
Yeah.
We have not climbed to the top of the mountain. Your dad
My
has.
dad has.
Yeah.
And my uncle.
I'm gonna put it at B.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So another one close to home, Olympic.
Yeah.
A,
We were.
B,
I
A.
think. I'd put that in A.
Yeah. All right.
And Olympic. Around this time last year, we were not in the park, but just on the outskirts of it at Shy Shy Beach.
Well, we had to register with the park in order
Yes.
to. Yeah.
Yeah, in order to camp on the beach. But yeah, Olympic National Park is.
We could
Beautiful.
also put a clip and a link in there for that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so another one that we have been to, Capitol Reef. That one's like a C tier for me, maybe even like a D tier. I'm sorry, it just like, okay, the petroglyphs were really cool.
Yeah, those
So-
were neat. It's a very small park, just kind of. After all of the other parks that we'd been to, like Arches and Canyonlands, and Bryce and the Grand Canyon and everything, it was just kind of like just more red rock and more hoodoos and all that. It wasn't.
You were also just getting over being car sick and
Yeah,
you're just
I
so
was super
tired.
sick
And
going in.
I mean, it was fine.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
cool park. I would put it on sea level.
You see?
Yeah, I mean, they're
Do you think
national
it's as
parks.
cool as Crater Lake though? I mean, we could sort within C.
I think it's cooler than Crater Lake if you haven't gone to all of the other ones that we went to.
Okay, Death Valley,
Death Valley is C.
C tier.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a very unique place.
Biscayne.
Biscayne, okay, so I don't feel like our ranking for Biscayne is going to be fair because we did not go snorkeling or scuba diving.
Okay.
And
In my defense, I wouldn't go even if I had the gear and was certified and everything else because it is okay. First of all, I had a whole argument when we were there that it shouldn't even count as a national park because 99% of it is underwater, right? And in my opinion, a park implies you can go for a walk in it.
we literally have this argument on camera.
Right. Yeah. And I still think I'm right. And even if I was a scuba diver, I wouldn't go down there just because it's way too much sea life and a lot of it is really scary. And you could damage it.
To
and
that point-
there was a lot of trash on top of that. And
To that point, I'd say, like, if you're going to go to a place in order to see gorgeous sea life, go snorkeling, go scuba diving, probably wouldn't go to Biscayne. I'd probably go to Hawaii, the Great Barrier Reef, like, other places, and probably not Biscayne National Park. So we're going to put it on the D level.
Yeah, D level. Okay, Hawaii volcanoes. So this was
See?
about this time last year. We went.
August
And
2019.
it wasn't technically erupting when we were there,
No.
although there was steam everywhere.
Yeah, not
and
sulfur.
by the way, like met a great tour guide, Zane. We'll put
Yeah,
the
he
link to
was
his company.
amazing.
Yeah, and he showed us videos of, a few weeks before when it was erupting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that at like Crater Lake level.
Yeah,
Okay.
sea level is fair.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I have been to Sequoia, just not this time.
Yeah, and we saw some sequoias when we were in Yosemite, which was really neat. We were in the Merced Grove, And yeah, it's not like the best one. I think Mariposa Grove in Yosemite is supposed to be the best, but that was closed due to the forest
I'm putting
fires.
redwoods right next to them.
Yeah, sequoias and redwoods.
Yeah. Okay. So moving on here, we've got trying to just do the ones that we for sure have been to. We were gonna go to Shenandoah, but
Shenandoah with your aunt and uncle.
with my aunt and uncle.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
So amazingly, we have not been to Yellowstone.
No, but we definitely need to go.
Grand Canyon, is this S tier?
Oh man, yeah, S tier or S tier for sure. Grand Canyon. This was the second time that we had been, and we went to the South Rim this time. Last time we went to the North Rim, and it's just a jaw-dropping. Like,
it's the Grand Canyon.
There's a reason why it's like the most popular national park in the U.S. And beyond that, this time we also got to go to Horseshoe Bend, which was a neat place, although like the parking fee there was stupid. But
okay, so we've got the Great Smoky Mountains.
Yeah, that was a cool park. I would definitely love to go back to
C-tier.
Gatlinburg. It was a really neat little town.
Yeah, C tier.
But yeah, sure, C tier.
It's
I mean,
fine.
there's a huge portion of the Appalachian Trail that runs through it, and I'd love to do like a 2 or 3 day partial hike of the AT at some point.
Mesa Verde.
A
tier.
It would have been even better if we could have gone into Cliff Palace and some of the other ones, but like we got there 2 days late, I think. For the season.
Yeah, we got there late October of last year, and they had closed the park for going into the old buildings just because it was too dangerous with the temperature and the wind and all of that.
Which we definitely felt. It was
and
really
I mean
cold.
your fingers would get numb for sure, just like climbing those ladders and stuff. So understood that, but even if we did go, I still think it's an A tier as opposed to Chaco Canyon, which is not on this list. That would be an S tier.
Yeah, Chaco Canyon.
Same
definitely
culture.
better.
About 100 years before, they built much bigger cities in Chaco Canyon, and nobody goes there. Nobody talks about it. When we went there was total of probably 50 people visiting,
in the park.
Yeah, visiting the park.
Granted,
total.
like the through drive is only like 9 miles long, so it's not a very big place, but you can walk inside the ruins, and it's like an adult playground. It's amazing.
Joshua Tree.
Joshua Tree. We didn't actually go to Joshua Tree this time.
We did.
No.
No, not this time, but we did on the way to the Grand Canyon the first time.
No, we went through a place that had Joshua trees, but it wasn't Joshua Tree.
No, remember, because Andon did not fly the drone because it wasn't allowed, because it was in the park, and there were those signs in the park.
No, it was part of the Grand Canyon
Fine.
National Park.
Okay.
But
well
we've
then,
seen Joshua trees, and they are pretty cool.
Fine. Yeah, I'm over it. Glacier Bay, I was there when I was like 12, and I'm putting it in C just because it's kind of like Crater Lake, where you get there, you see it, you wait like an hour or two, and you've seen it. Maybe you see some whales that are on their way through while you're there.
What kind of whales? Humpbacks? Orcas?
Orcas.
Ah,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Anyway, you see, of course, the glaciers, falling into the ocean. And you're like, man, climate change is happening real time there. Anyway, that's where I'm putting it. So, Carlsbad.
Carlsbad?
I'm putting it next to Mesa Verde.
Really? I would put it.
I mean,
in
it's
B.
so immersive, right?
It's yeah, it's immersive, but I don't know. I don't think it was cooler than. No, maybe. Okay, yeah, sure. A tier is fine.
Okay, I'm embarrassed to say we have not actually technically been to the North Cascades, even though like I grew up literally in the Cascade Mountains, just like the middle Cascade Mountains, and Mount Rainier is the Southern Cascades.
I
and
might have. I
mean, like I know my
family might
brothers
have
go
gone
up there, every now and then, and like I've driven past
what,
it.
Boy Scout camping trips or something?
No, I know Joe's just gone out there to hang out.
Okay.
Yeah, plenty of times. Okay, so the majority of the rest of these we have not really.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so also we drove right past the Gateway Arch,
Yeah,
and I do
St. Louis.
not think that should even be a national park.
So put it on D.
I'm putting it on D. I have been to the Virgin Islands twice. I'm putting it not D. I'm putting
Yeah, I was
it
gonna say.
up to so
B
let's say
tier?
B tier. I don't think it necessarily should be
Haven't been to
Yeah.
Twin Cave.
White Sands.
Hey, no, I've been to the Badlands, and it's boring AF.
Okay,
Like,
D.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay. How do you pronounce this one? Were we there?
I
That's
don't. I think it's on a different island. I don't think
that's
it's
the
on Big Island.
big volcano, right?
But I don't think it's on Big Island.
Okay. All right.
Maybe it is.
So
We need to
really
do some
quick now, yeah, we're going to sort what we do have here from what we have been to. So I like this order for S tier: Yosemite, Zion, Arches, Grand Canyon. Actually, I'm gonna move Grand Canyon up. Do you want to move Zion down?
Yeah. I feel like Zion would be better if like you did the stairway, the Angels.
The Angels Landing.
Angels Landing. That's
For Arches, my argument for being at the end of the S tier is basically it's like a huge outdoor museum. Granted, there is one, I think it's the Devil's Walkway that we did not do.
Devil's Garden.
The Devil's Garden, right? People say that is a little bit more like a jungle gym, which was cool.
There's also a campground right there, which would be
But
cool.
for the most part, these are giant outdoor sculptures that you go and you observe, and you do not climb on. Some you can climb, within like the Indiana Jones one, which I was all about. I did not find the Cross of Coronado. But yeah, I think for the most part, it's, you could do it in a half day, go see all of them.
Do the drive-through.
Yeah.
I will say when we were there were people climbing on the arches and they shouldn't have been. We saw them.
No, those were on the Hodors.
Hoodoos.
Yeah, the Hodors. I remember that because I called them Hodors because they were like Hodor. They're like big, giant looking statue type things, but they're hoodoos, yeah.
It doesn't work if you... Anyway, okay.
Works for me.
Bryce Canyon, then Mesa Verde, then Olympic, then Carlsbad.
Okay, then Olympic.
For A tier. Yeah, no, that's perfect.
Do you want to move Mount Rainier up?
No, I think Canyonlands is cooler.
Okay. And then, okay, who's the top C?
Top C. I'd say Capitol Reef.
Really?
Oh,
Better
no.
than Crater Lake?
Death Valley, then Capitol Reef, then Crater Lake. But you can do something different. And then Hawaii. Redwood, Sequoia's cooler than Redwoods. And then I think that order's good.
Okay. I might move Glacier Bay up there.
Okay.
Because it's pretty damn epic. Yeah. And then this is just
see it.
a forest, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a forest.
I don't think we need to change the
The
order.
Redwoods is a forest with big trees. Actually, when I was there with Nathan, and we didn't have a tent, and we were just camping. We were going to sleep outside under the stars.
Story time with Danny.
And we built a fire, and then we saw all these beady eyes in the forest. And as they got closer, we realized that they were all feral cats. And we had been surrounded by 100 or so of these mangy...
It's probably like 20.
Like rabid, probably like 200 mangy, rabid cats. And yeah, it was the most frightening experience of my life.
They bite you?
No, we slept in the car. We put the fire out. We slept in the car and just moved on for the next day because it was terrifying. Okay, so then...
I don't think that needs to move.
I'm moving Arches down there, yeah.
But
So,
you haven't been to Badlands. You don't even know.
but I'm just saying the Gateway Arch should not be
The
a
only
national
cool thing
park.
about Badlands is the groundhogs.
Okay, so let's do this next sort here as quickly as
Oh,
possible because we're
Oh,
already...
Everglades. You didn't put Everglades up above.
Crap. Okay, Everglades.
Everglades.
You hated the Everglades, but
Just
it
because
was.
of the bugs. It was really cool, but like...
I'm putting it
the
up at
bugs-
C here.
Yeah, sure, C. And at the end is...
It was pretty cool. I mean, the swamp tours, again, sorry, not swamp because the Everglades is a river.
Not a swamp, it's a river.
It is a giant, slow-moving river. And the boat tours were really cool. On the boat tour that we took, we saw like 15 alligators.
Oh yeah,
Something
there's so
like
many.
that. All kinds of birds. And how many different kinds of mosquitoes?
There's supposedly over 200. I think it's like 230 or something. Maybe it's closer. I don't know.
And
Anyway, only 9 of them bite.
And all 9 of those species, the entire population of all of those, got into our rig.
I think it was more than just the ones
After
that
that-
bit. Because
after
we were
that
just
point,
like
we-
whacking around like crazy.
We invented a new modification to our rig that was
Had
the
screens.
screens on on the top sunroof and on the back, and anywhere we could put screens, we put
Ugh.
screens. Okay, so
Okay.
let's order this real quick. Let's go through and like look for ones we'd move all the way to the front.
Yellowstone for sure.
Where is Yellowstone?
Top row.
Top row. Oh, right
Yeah.
there. Okay, so that's easy.
Yep.
I'm gonna say Glacier National Park, wherever that is. There it is, right there. Right after that.
That's cool.
I really want to go to Dry Tortuga. We were close.
Yeah, we had to take a boat and we didn't have the time.
It was like $45 each, and
right. Yeah, it was expensive.
and then we had to rent the snorkeling equipment on top of that once we got there. We only had one set of like snorkeling gear that we trade off with, and so we did that in the
Yeah.
Keys instead. Anyway.
I hear the Great Sand Dunes is really cool.
Yeah, one of Marissa's friends was recommending
Yeah.
that. Grand Tetons, everybody talks about.
Which I might have seen when I was a kid. I just don't remember it. So.
Yeah. So then we'll like leave all the ones we have no idea, like Lake Clark. I have no idea.
I think that's in
Again,
Canada.
if we
or
don't
no.
know, we should just put it all the way down. Denali, okay. I definitely want to do it, but it's hardcore. That's the tallest mountain in North America, right? So like if you're going to Denali, you have to like go to climb Denali, which I definitely would love to do one day, but like I am nowhere near fit enough. But I'm gonna put that under American Samoa. I don't know about Big Bend. I don't know about
Big
the
Bend's
Black
in Texas.
Canyon.
I think we've seen. Yeah, those would definitely be lower.
I'm gonna move these down.
Congaree's supposed to be pretty cool.
I don't.
Like
where is it?
Bayou. It's in South Carolina. Bayous and.
I don't know anything about Theodore Roosevelt. I don't know
It's
anything.
named after Theodore Roosevelt. He was like
Yeah,
champion of nature.
I know who Theodore Roosevelt is. I don't know anything about the park.
Okay, fine.
All these ones, like, okay, so this is going to take us about 2 more years to get through here. I think that this is okay as like a sorting priority for Yellowstone Glacier, Dry Tortugas, Acadia, Great Sand Dunes, Grand Teton, American Samoa, Denali, Channel Islands, North Cascades. I think that's solid as like, okay, this is our checklist for like
Yeah.
the next year for what we want to do. Anyway, so that's our Tiermaker list for the national parks. We have a lot of work to do. Super curious about where you guys have been and how you guys sort what was great, what wasn't, what your justification is. If you do a video, please post that video into the comments. If you just do the Tiermaker, like we'd love to see that too. And if you liked what you saw, then hit the like button and subscribe.